On today's video, we're going to talk about the left rear shock, how it's grown, how it's changed, how it's gotten stiffer over the last few years, how that's affecting our cars, good and bad, and how's it working with the extended load program. A lot to cover, and we'll do that when we get back. On this video, we're going to talk about the growth of the left rear shock, where we started, where we're at, where we're headed, how it affects the cars. Is it good for the car? Is it bad for the car? And does it work well with the extended load program, or does it work better on a bike number? But before we get into it, like, share, subscribe, comment. YouTube likes you to comment. It drives more people to our videos. So watch to the end, because we're going to learn the left rear shock. All right, let's get started. The left rear shock, when it started out, we thought it was stiff. Boy, was we wrong. We kind of started out with a left rear 1. So let me show you here. We started out with the left rear 1-40 350. Actually, back then it was a 330. 330 pounds at 10 inches. And we considered that to be pretty stiff, which on our chart falls in about the 6.5 compression. Okay, our chart is a little low in comparison to other people's builds. But in that time, 2010, a lot of people were building a, 300, 350. And our big shock was a 6400. That was our UMP shock. Back in the Devin Gilpin days, that was a big left rear. The shocks that Kyle Strickler won a lot on was a 4350. So that did make it to a 7. And an 8 valve was the 400. These were big shocks. They had some nose in them, as you can see, but they just is what we thought was big. Okay. As we've moved up, we've done different things, but we learned that in the left rear, if you're going to make a stiffer shock, you're going to split it high speed, low speed. And our next and our currently most popular shock is a left rear 75 550. And I feel like this is as stiff as we need to go in the 1 series, in the left rear 1. It's a very, very good shock on today's market. It works very good in a B mod, it works very good in an A mod, it works very good in a stock car, it works very good in a straight stock. So it is a very good shock. It has some bleed in it. A lot of times the 550 gets us up into the 10 compression. As I said, our chart might be a little lower than maybe the general market, but it gets us up there at 550 pounds of compression. You're going to have to run about 300 pounds of gas. You can couple, we normally do couple it with an SRT piston. The SRT piston allows the car to get through the rough better because of the stiffness of the left rear. So with the shock and with the gas pressure in the shock and the valving in the shock, this goes a long ways to help hold the car up, to build drive in the car, and to keep steer in the car. Okay, but it's not the stiffest piece we do. We do them stiffer. But that right there, what you're looking at, is a left rear 1-75 550. In the 1 series, it is about as stiff as we go. We do some 600s. In that series, and we do sometimes do stiffer because we need the bleed that the 1 series gives us, but it's just not that functional. I mean, it's not making that big of an improvement to increase the high speed above that 550 600 number. It's just not that beneficial. So you have to come back and attack the low speed in order to make the shock stiffer. So left rear 2, 400. Okay, now you're saying I'm confused. Okay, well the 2 series is a much smaller bleed system and it becomes a much stiffer shock. Okay, and because of the low speed stiffness, we don't overdo the high speed. But we'll do a left rear 2 400 and a left rear 2 550. Both of these are always done with an SRT. Both of these require 300 pounds of gas or more. And a lot of times, if we do a left rear 2 400 or 550, we try to do it in a bypass, okay? Which means that the shock at the very top of the stroke, maybe the very top 2 inches of stroke, has more bleed in it, so it can move up and down up there, okay? And then when it comes down off of that, it hits the 2 part and becomes very stiff. This is probably the best way to run that shock in that amount of stiffness. It is a very stiff shock. A left rear 1 75 550 can be pushed in by most drivers. Okay, so if the tech's going to require you to push them in, understand that. A left rear 2 400 or a left rear 2 550, even with the bypass in it, it's going to take one big old boy to get that pushed in. So if you're, 180 pound driver, it's not going to happen. If your tech guy is going to insist on pushing it in, it's not going to happen. If you guys insist on running that stiff a shock in the future, then you should not protest, but protest for IMCA or USRA to build a device to compress those shocks. Okay, it can be an arm leverage device. It's not complicated, it's not expensive, but the ratio of the arm would be the same. It just gives you a little leverage and a handle where you're not having to push right on the shock. Okay, this, you can't use a screwdriver, you can use a screwdriver. This is all junk. It's just junk. Okay, them guys, they're gonna run stiff shocks on the left rear. Sanctioned bodies come up with a way to monitor what you think might be too stiff. Okay, so I get they don't like it. That's the box we race in. That's just what we race in. So it is what it is. But the left rear 2 500, very stiff piece. Let's take a look at it again. I think this one here is a left rear 2 400. Still super stiff piece. It will hold the car in posture. Okay. So if you understand where we come from, for years I promoted the driver to carry the car because I wanted the driver to turn into the corner at the correct time. And a stiff left rear shock was not promoting that. It's promoting to drive in deeper into the corner before you make your turn. And most guys and most tracks are not equipped for that. We just can't handle it. The tracks are too slick. So we were slow at promoting a stiff left rear. We didn't join the bandwagon. We were trying to get you to go the other direction and become what I consider maybe better driving techniques to get the car into the corner. But our goal is really to help you guys to be better, but to give you what you want, to give you what you need to make your driving style better. Okay, so this is where the stiff left rears come in. The benefit to that stiff left rear, in my opinion, is it keeps the car postured up. So the posture change on entry is smaller. This is another reason why I promote backing the corner up, because the posture change is smaller. And by having a smaller posture change, that means we don't have to fix all the stuff that's going on in the rear of the car as we put it back up on the bars. So up, down, we have to fix our traction every time the car goes up and down. So that's what we're trying to help or fix. And the left rear 2 and the 75 550 goes a long ways in doing that. So it's, driver combination, shock combination, helps keep rear steer in the car, helps keep that, that posture in the car, that attitude in the car, helps keep the nose on the, helps keep the right front on the nose, okay? Is it good with an extended load? Well, I think it is, but I don't know that you need to be. I think the 75-550 is better with an extended load, a 125 at, say, 200 pounds of load. I think that's a better setup in a B mod, in a A mod, in a stock car, and even in a street stock. I think that's a much better setup. The bleed system's a little bigger. The SRT allows it to get through the rough, and the extended load will hold the car up on the bars. So you're not fighting none of it, okay? And you can still make some traction on exit. Now, we can couple any left rear with a bypass, okay? And the bypass works in the first fully extended, first couple of inches of travel is where that bypass works, where you need it. Because by the time you get to exit, you should be full hike, carrying the car down the straightaway. And in order to make traction and speed down the straightaway, we need to have a little more bleed in there so we can keep the tire applied to the racetrack. So, yes, I think the extended load is very good for the cars. I think a certain left rear shock, 75, left rear 1, 75, so it's a left rear 1 dash 75. The 75 is the 1-inch number. The 550 is the 10-inch number. SRT or SRT bypass or SRT base valve are very good options for that left rear. A lot of shocks that go out the door for the left rear is an SRT in that 75-550. So it is a very good piece. It makes good traction. It holds the car up well. It's just a good piece. Over the last 5 years, our left rears have gotten extremely stiff. What the downfall to this is, if not done right, it will kill traction off exit. So when you're trying to make drive and you're trying to get that tire hooked up and the track's a little rough out there because everybody's kind of digging and throwing some mud, that's where it's going to rattle the car the hardest. Okay, so if getting the car into the corner is a lot better, then give up a little exit. That's fine. If we can make improvements at getting the car in because we went to a stiffer left rear, then losing a little exit is fine because we can make up for it on the straightaway, carry more speed into the corner. I think this is a great thing. So, left rear stiff shock with extended load, a good deal. If you're shock in front on an A-mod, shock in front, you are going to kill a little traction because of the shock in front. If you need traction, do a base valve. This will put drive back into the car. Okay, the shock and spring behind will put drive into the car because the front shock is not pushing spring rate out of the car. So, but it becomes very difficult to handle. So shock in front, a 75-550, extended load spring, good. If you need more traction, add a base valve to it. Shock and spring behind will add traction to a car in the slick, but becomes more difficult to drive, harder to hold the car up. You get out of the gas, car wants to fall. So more throttle time, braking in a different zone is generally required to make that shock work. I feel like for about 85% of the guys, it's not as good. For that 15%, yes, they can probably manage. And yes, they probably do very well. So it is for some people, it isn't for some people. Our overall conclusion on the left rear stiffness, no matter what it is, don't do things because somebody else is doing it. Okay, I've said it before and I'll say it again. We're not really looking for right or wrong. We're looking for something different or something that we think might be better. Okay, I truly prefer to race on right and wrong. Okay, because that means we're doing it right. And as a driver, I need to adapt to what's right for the car. I need to change what I've learned. I need to change what I'm doing to take a car that we know is capable of doing the right things and then change me as a driver to get that done. I'm more for that. But that's not how a lot of people see it. So they want a shock, they get a shock, okay? But understand the difference and how it's affecting your car in the short term and how it's affecting your car in the long term. So we are looking at both short and long term, and a lot of times we do pay attention to the long-term program. So if you haven't been around much, you will learn that I'm in this for the long haul. I'm not trying to sell you something to get you out the door and get the next one in the door. I'm trying to build a shock program with you that we can carry on over time. Okay, so if you have any questions, call the shop, text us, message us, Facebook, however, get a hold of us. But remember this, go fast, go left, God bless you, and we'll see you the next time.